plastics are almost everywhere around you. As society evolves, so must the materials we use. While enhancing your life and happiness, the essentials in life, the circle of life, they have been reborn. Smarter, more adaptable, plastics manufacture is now at the heart of the circular economy. Sustainability drives us forward. Taiwan Plastics Manufacture. We innovate. We recreate. For you, every day, and for the environment. TaipeiPLAS, shaping new plastability.
Distinguished guests, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're here or watching online, hello, greetings, welcome to the event, which is organized by the Bureau of Foreign Trade and hosted by TAITRA, Shaping New Plastability. Taiwan Business and Trade Show, Plastics, Rubber, Shoemaking, Machinery, and Plastics Materials Press Conference. As the pandemic is slowing down, a lot of the events are coming back online. And if you look at the plastics, rubber, shoemaking industry, in September, we have a lot of exhibitions in Taiwan. And if you look at TaipeiPLAS, which is an iconic exhibition in Asia, it is now going to run between September 27th to October 1st. And it is going to run concurrently with ShoeTech Taipei, which is going to be held in the #1 exhibition hall of Nangang Exhibition Center. At the same time, we also have TGAX, which is being held here in the World Trade Center. So it's been 4 years since the last time we organized an in-person TaipeiPLAS, but now as travel restrictions are loosening in Taiwan, we are very honored to organize today's event in person again. And we are very honored to have, for TaipeiPLAS and ShoeTech Taipei, a lot of distinguished guests from TAITRA, from TAMI, and also from the industry. They are all going to discuss the challenges and possibilities for the industries. So I'm going to introduce today's distinguished guests, and when I call your name, please remember to come stand up and wave. First, we have Mr. G.J. Lee, Deputy Director General of Bureau of Foreign Trade. And next, we have Mr. Simon Wang, President and CEO of TAITRA. And next, we have Mr. Larry Wei, Chairman of TAMI. And from our industries, we have the CEO of FCS Group, Mr. Alan Wang, and also the Chairman of Victor Taichung Machinery Works, Mr. Bert Huang, and also Vice Chairman of Chuanxi Machine, Mr. Victor Chang. A round of applause, please, for our distinguished guests. Next, we would like to invite the CEO and President of TAITRA to say a few words for us. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Wang. Mr. Lee of Bureau of Foreign Trade, Mr. Wei of TAMI, Mr. Wang of FCS Group, Mr. Huang of Victor Taichung Machinery, and Mr. Chang of Chuanxi Machine, friends of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. So our goal is right in front of us, or the end of the pandemic is in sight. This is something that the Secretary General of WHO said 2 days ago. Why did he say that? Because ever since the March of 2020 all the way to now, you can see that the number of cases of new COVID cases around the world are lower than ever. So this is a great trend. However, we are not exactly there. It's only in sight. The end is in sight, so we still have to be prepared. However, I think that this statement alone is really showing us the light at the end of the tunnel. So today here, we are kicking off our TaipeiPLAS, and we are very excited. Why is that? Because we've been preparing for this for 4 years. It's been 4 years since the last time we organized an in-person event. So we were able to take those 4 years to really get ready to showcase our products, our machines, our technologies, and so on. So when you talk about the plastics, rubber, machinery industry, it is the unsung hero behind all the daily products and daily necessities that we see every day. And it is like a magic wand, if you think about it, because you have some raw materials upstream, and it goes through these machines, goes through these technologies, and you have these injection molding, blow molding, and so on. And all these materials can be turned into our daily products. Everything from the aircrafts that you see in the air to the vehicles, trains on land, and also the cruisers, the yachts that you see in the ocean. Everything uses plastics. And when you look at the export of plastics, rubber, machinery, last year our export exceeded 30 billion Taiwan dollars. That's a growth of 13.4%. And YTD this year, even after last year's high growth, we still grew YTD 6.8%. So we can really say that this industry is the pride of Taiwan. And if you look at the development of the raw materials, the technologies of the machineries, everything is moving towards this trend. And this trend is what we call GRASS. This GRASS. So G stands for green, which is environmental protection. R stands for recycle, which is about recycling and reusing. And then A stands for advance, which is advanced technology, innovation. And S stands for sustainability. And the last S stands for smart design. So this trend, I can say that in this year's TaipeiPLAS, you can see that even though we already introduced our distinguished guests already, but I would like to just introduce them again because they are this important. So we have Mr. Wang, Mr. Huang, and Mr. Cheng from the FCS group, from Victor Taichung Machinery, and from Chuanqi Machine. They're all very iconic and very important in this industry. So we are very honored to have them. And this year, we have over 300 companies using over 1,300 booths at the exhibition this year. So altogether, we're witnessing the results, the efforts of what we have been preparing over the past 4 years. So TaipeiPLAS is going to amaze us. So lastly, I would like to wish you every success and health. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wang, for the sharing and the opening remark. Please be seated.
Now let's welcome Mr. G.J. Lee from Bureau of Foreign Trade. Mr. Wang from TAITRA, Mr. Wei from TAMI, Mr. Wang, Mr. Huang, and Mr. Cheng, dear friends from the media and online, and dear colleagues, good afternoon. I'm very honored to represent the Bureau of Foreign Trade, Ministry of Economic Affairs, to attend this trade show. And as you can see, that this is an international press conference. When we look at the pandemic, we can see that this is now a key juncture. The government is reviewing all the restrictions, border restrictions, and different countries try as much to resume normal interactions and normal lives in a post-pandemic era. We hope that, well, we know that in 10 days the trade show will start, and we hope to have more convenient approaches to welcome international buyers and that their travels will be easier. And we see that the contribution of these industries are very important for our daily life. The machinery industry is a high-tech industry, and it is also a smart and intelligent industry. We really need international markets, and we need to have better cooperations and exchanges in terms of technology with other countries. On this market, we need to find partners to collaborate with and to work together with. Over the past few years and decades, in developing countries and in developed countries, we have seen that our companies and R&D centers have worked together in trade shows worldwide. And among these enterprises, we have seen the resilience in manufacturing, in R&D, in marketing. We have seen comprehensive approaches. This characteristic is something very important for Taiwan's manufacturing industry. Actually, this is very important, and the threshold of manufacturing is actually very high. It's not that manufacturing has very low margins, as people tend to say. I think the accumulation of experience and technologies is really something that allows us to continue to prosper on the international stage. So, the government and the relevant institutions over the past 3 years during the pandemic have made efforts to promote smart manufacturing and also the use of digital and online tools in order to promote our products online in a distance virtual way. Smart manufacturing and smart management are very important for the industry to be able to connect to end clients and suppliers. So in the future, the government and relevant agencies will continue to improve and to make efforts through the collaboration between government, academia, industry. We will continue to enhance the development of the industries. So, such manufacturing, shoemaking, and plastic and rubber industries will continue to develop in the future. And in terms of the development of different brands, we continue to work together with different companies, hoping that the brands can really shine on the international stage so that Taiwan's machinery industry can enjoy very good image in the world. During the pandemic, we have been able to do that, and we will seize opportunities once again in the post-pandemic era. Last but not least, I wish you all, dear friends from the media and viewers online, I wish you success and prosperity. We will later have a very important panel, and this is a precious opportunity because we invite very distinguished colleagues in the industry. They come from southern and central Taiwan today to attend this panel to exchange ideas with you. So this is really a precious opportunity. We hope that in 10 days, TaipeiPLAS will open in a very successful way and enjoy great success. Thank you once again for your support and participation. Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Lee. please resume your seat. He mentioned that shoemaking and plastic and rubber industries are high-tech industries. But what is exactly smart manufacturing? Now I'm going to invite Mr. Wei, Chairman Wei, for his opening remarks. Thank you, Chairman Wei. Mr. Lee from Bureau of Foreign Trade, Simon from TAITRA, and also Mr. Wang, Mr. Huang, Mr. Zhang, and also dear friends from the media, viewers online from around the world, good afternoon. TaipeiPLAS, as we just said, finally is going to be held after 4 years of pandemic, but our border restrictions are still there. So international buyers may be less likely to come to Taiwan physically, but TAITRA has really made great efforts. Over the past 2 to 3 years, despite the pandemic, TAITRA has been able to adapt. So we have online exhibitions as well in order to actually attract more buyers to come online and participate in TaipeiPLAS. Back in January, in the machinery exhibition, the virtual viewers actually outnumbered physical viewers by 10 times. So TaipeiPLAS, despite border restrictions, will continue to attract people on site and online. I'm sure that it will be highly successful. Over the past few years, due to the pandemic and due to inflation and the situation in mainland China, the entire world has had many black swans. But Taiwan's plastic and rubber industry has continued to prosper. As of August, the performance has been great, and we expect to see that in Q4 and in Q1 next year, there will be slight decline. But don't forget that Taiwanese people's wisdom cannot be neglected, and Taiwanese people's resilience will be strengthened against the difficulties that we have, especially in terms of smart manufacturing and carbon emissions reduction. The equipment that we produce will address these issues, and the CP value and the effectiveness of production will be better in order to satisfy customers' needs. The Taiwanese people are really great because if we look at the performances of different machinery sectors, Taiwan ranks always among top 5. Taiwan is a very small area with a small population, but we have made great efforts to create such a good result. So I'd like to encourage everyone in the industries, all the workers in the industries, we need to continue to unleash our resilience to create a better future. I wish great success to ShoeTech and TaipeiPLAS, and also I wish you health and great success. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wei. Please stay on the stage. Now I'd like to invite everyone to come onto, every distinguished guest to come onto the stage, Mr. Lee, and also Mr. Wang, and Mr. Wang from FCS Group, Mr. Wang from Victor Taichung Machinery Works, and also Mr. Zhang from Chuanqi Machine. We see that we have representatives from the industry. We hope that the industry will continue to be better and better. Let's keep the masks on for a group photo. So please have your thumbs up for the group photo. And we know that Taiwan's exports continue to grow, whereas South Korea's exports continue to decline. So please look at the left-hand side. 3, 2, 1.
And
Okay, 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. One more. Okay, one more. One more take. Let's capture this very memorable moment. I think our industry is fully ready for international buyers. So thanks again to all the distinguished guests. So please stay on the stage. Our panelists can stay on the stage. Next, we are going to talk about the trend in the industry. There are a lot of topics to cover. So we know that there are a lot of uncertainties in the world. We have the pandemic, we have a war, we have supply chain disruption, we have environmental protection. Are they adding to our costs or are they necessary? So there are a lot of questions for our distinguished guests here today. So first question I would like to ask Mr. Wang from TAITRA. So earlier we talked about this is the first time we have an in-person exhibition, the first time in 4 years. So what obstacles have you had to overcome? What challenges did you have to overcome? And what bright spots are we going to have for this year's exhibition? Thank you. So yes, just like you said, over the past 2 years, the pandemic, well, not just the pandemic actually, there are a lot of other happenings around the world. Shocks and disruptions around the world. So yes, we have the pandemic, and then we have a war, we have inflation, we have rising interests, we have supply chain disruption. So everything is posing a lot of challenges. So I've been thinking, I remember there's a slogan, as the world gets faster, you have to slow down. So it's a slogan from a telecommunications company here in Taiwan. So as you have all these changes around around the world, you have to stabilize yourself. So to answer your question, yes, we have to stabilize ourselves. We have to get ready. We have to get prepared. We have to be composed. So when we were setting a theme for our exhibition, we came up with a theme of shaping new plausibility. So here in Taiwan, we want to tell the rest of the world, we here in the plastics and rubber machinery industry here in Taiwan, we can shape the world. This is our ambition. This is our vision. We can shape different possibilities through our plastics. And also, if you talk about the participating exhibitors this year, we have over 300 exhibitors at 1,300 booths. So we have all these different machineries. So I think maybe I'm doing too much of a plug here. Maybe they have to pay me for advertising or endorsing them. But I have to say, our distinguished guests here, including the CEO of FCS Group and chairman of Victor Taichung Machinery and the vice chairman of Chuanqi Machine, their companies are all very innovative and they have come up with great designs for their machines. So this year, back in June, we set this theme and we thought about how we should promote our technologies, our products. So back in June, we set the theme for shaping new plausibility, but also set the topic for smart manufacturing. We want to showcase our ability to manufacture intelligently. And we also have innovations when it comes to raw materials. And in August, we focused on sustainability. We focus on environmental protection. So every month we have different peripheral events leading up to our exhibition. And every month we have a different theme, we have a different topic, and all of them resonate and echo to our main event. Yes, so it's very important that we have a great theme and we have great exhibitors so that when we have this exhibition, we can accumulate the momentum. So yes, we now have a platform. But how about the macro economy? There are a lot of uncertainties, right? We have the pandemic, we have the war, we have the supply chain disruption, we have the inflation. The US is raising interest in order to fight inflation. So a lot of the hot money is flooding out of other countries. So it seems like it's dark and gloomy when it comes to the macroeconomics. So I would like to ask, is the macroeconomy going to impact our industry, and how are we going to deal with it? Yes, thank you for the question. So in Taiwan's machine industry, we have been working very hard over the past 3 to 4 decades, and we have been able to set up integrations, whether vertically or horizontally. We have our own supply chain. With the exception of some very unique components like certain controllers and also some precision motors, we currently do not have those ready from a technical standpoint. But aside from those, all these other components, we are self-sufficient, we're self-reliant here in Taiwan. So yes, we are in a very dynamic world, and the supply chains are getting shorter and shorter. The impacts on our industry is actually very limited, and it's because of the buffering we have built over the past 3-4 decades. So in the machinery and manufacturing industry, the plastics, rubber industry, we also have to keep up with the times. So we have smart manufacturing, we are Industry 4.0, and we have carbon reduction, energy reduction, we have reuse, recycle, reduce, the 3 R's. So we have tried very hard to elevate, to upgrade our machinery, and we reduce our carbon emission. We try our best to upgrade our machines to a smart design. So I believe that the people of Taiwan are very resilient. We also have the government support behind us. We also have other organizations like TAITRA supporting us, right? And we have all of you encouraging all of us. So we are going to digital, and we are really moving the entire industry so that we're more or less immune to the overall impacts from the overall environment. So we expect that by Q4, yes, we will see some setbacks in Q4. However, I am confident, I'm fully confident that over the past 3-4 years of preparations, we will be ready for all these challenges, and we will continue to forge ahead. And I'm very thankful for today's event. We're very thankful for the exhibition, and I'm confident that we can achieve new heights with our industry, so we won't be impacted by the waves of the overall economy too much. Okay, thank you, Mr. Wei. So yes, Mr. Wei mentioned that in Taiwan's plastics, rubber, and shoemaking machinery industry, we have a very complete industry. We have a very complete supply chain. Everything is here in Taiwan, and they're all very clustered as well. So yes, there are a lot of uncertainties. Everything is moving very fast. Things are coming out of the blue, but now we can still organize today's event. It's really all thanks, not just to the organizers, but also to the participants from the industry. So I would like to ask Mr. Wang from Victor Taichung Machinery Works. Victor Taichung Machinery has offices in 7 countries around the world, and you also have manufacturing bases in Shanghai, in Guangzhou, in China. So now, faced with all these uncertainties around the world, how are you going to cope? And also, when we think about upgrading the industry, what are your thoughts? Thank you for the question. So yes, just like Mr. Wang and Mr. Wei mentioned, and also Mr. Lee has also touched upon that. I think from the industry's perspective, just like you said, our company have both the heavy machineries as well as the plastic materials. So yes, we see a lot of challenges. But just like Mr. Wei said, our machinery industry in Taiwan, we have been developing not just the past 3-4 decades, it's been 7 decades. So, for example, my company and Mr. Wei's company were established almost 70 years ago. So we have seen all these peaks and troughs. We have seen all these ups and downs. And I think our government has been promoting smart machinery, smart manufacturing. It's not just a slogan. And you can see the collaboration between academia, the government, and the industry. We are really implementing these theories, these ideas, these concepts in different aspects of our industry. So I think in this year's TaipeiPLAS, this is something that will be showcased. So we have smart manufacturing, not just for some machineries. So, for example, the products that we're going to showcase by our company this month, we are going to showcase a lot of smart manufacturing machinery. So it's not just going to be part of the production line that's being automated or upgraded to smart. It's going to be the entire production line. So we have all these special designs, and it completely fits what was talked about in terms of the grass, right? We have it's going to be all electric. So in Taiwan, our plastic machine, sometimes we see the stranglehold because of a lack of a controller. But over the past few years, we've also seen some manufacturing companies working in this area to try to bridge the gap. So we are collaborating with other companies in the industry to develop these precision motors, these controllers, and all-electric machines. So I think we have been able to shorten the supply chain, and I think most of the components that we need are already produced and manufactured domestically. So faced with all these challenges, I think it's important that we collaborate. So I think it's important that we form a concept that's like a national team, right? If you look at other industries, we are also talking about forming an alliance like a national team. So we also need a national team in our industry so that we can stick together, we can fight against the uncertainties. So yes, in the future, especially in Q4 this year and Q1 next year, we are going to see some toughness. We're going to see some challenges. But the lower you squat, the higher you jump. So I think we are prepared. We are prepared for even the worst scenarios. But still, I have to say it's a shame that the travel restrictions has been prohibitive. So our foreign buyers were not able to come in person to participate in our exhibition. However, I think we have been trying very hard, and we are going to overcome these challenges. Okay, thank you, Mr. Huang. So yes, from the industry's perspective, I think we talked about how things may be flat or slow in Q4 and Q1. But if we can form a national team, a national alliance, then we believe that we can overcome these challenges. And geographically speaking, Central Taiwan and Southern Taiwan are the hubs of the industry. So I would like to ask Mr. Wang of the FCS, your company have been dubbed the pride of Taiwan's injection molding machines. So I would like to ask you, what are you going to showcase for this year's exhibition?
Thank you for the question. Before answering the question, I want to thank once again the organizer because it requires a lot of support from TAITRA, from TAMI, etc., so that we can gather here in Taipei for the exhibition. And over the past two years, because of the pandemic, the entire industry suffered, but at the same time benefited. Our company had a series of good performance, but in Q4, we started to feel some challenges. But personally, I think that it will depend on some specific applications. For example, new energy vehicles. That will bring in a lot of investment of new technologies and also steel and glass, etc. And some conventional needs demand will continue to exist. A while ago, we were talking about that the shoe industry actually has never suffered severely. Wherever there are people, there is demand for shoes and such needs. So new energy vehicles is one thing, and also conventional, traditional industries, they continue to perform well. And this is also Taiwan is strong at. And also, when it comes to the themes of of the trade show, first of all, zero emissions, and second, sustainability and recycled plastics. I think the plastic industry has some burden in this regard, so it's important to do this well too. And third, this is smart manufacturing. So this company, our company surrounds these three areas. So we have all electric machines and also recycled plastics in order to produce some products. In addition, we have dual color machines. So this is a brief answer to your question. Thank you, CEO Wang. He mentioned that there will be new opportunities for Taiwan's plastic and rubber, for example, new energy cars. And also a while ago, we mentioned that shoemaking never suffers from low season. So I want to ask you, Vice Chairman Chung, we know that Taiwan's shoemaking machinery exports grew a lot, especially to India. It grew by 100%. So Mr. Chung, what do you think about how Taiwan can adapt to this restructuring of the industry? Thank you once again, the organizer and the government. Thank you, Mr. Wang and Mr. Lee, for your support. Taiwan's shoe-making industry has always been strong. We have been called the kingdom of shoemaking, and our market share has always been high. Actually, many international brands around the world are manufactured by Taiwanese companies. If we look at the market trend, we see the shifts from mainland China to Southeast Asia. And in Southeast Asia, the manufacturing bases continue to grow and increase. And it is good to see that we Taiwanese companies can go and prosper along with such growth, and we enjoy such a great position worldwide. Over the past few years, the government has been helping the industry with going smart. And also, a lot of manufacturing and production have been helped and enhanced as a result. And also, TAITRA and many trade representative offices have also helped promote this industry. When it comes to going smart, we know that the shoemaking industry is a traditional industry because shoes are relatively basic, and it's something that everyone needs. CEO Wang mentioned a while ago that the shoemaking industry never suffers from a low season. Well, because this is something that everyone needs, and shoes continue to be replaced by everyone. And if we look at the past few years in terms of going smart, we see that TAMI has really valued this. the shoemaking machinery industry is not just a simple machinery industry. We want to help it integrate with other machinery industries. The shoemaking machinery industry, such machinery is relatively simple instead of being precision oriented, but it is widely used for shoemaking technologies. When it comes to smart manufacturing, this is something very important. This is a very important promotion. We know that we talk a lot about going mobile, going smart, and automation. And when it comes to shoemaking and shoe production, if we can use smart manufacturing and production, then in this process, we can reduce a lot of complicated processes. And there can be new concepts, new smart concepts coming in. And also, it can combine with ESG promotions. So in the future, in Southeast Asia, the shoemaking factories will continue to increase their production lines. And Taiwan's shoemaking machinery will grow along the way. It has benefited from such growth in Southeast Asia. Thank you, Mr. Zhang. Indeed, there is never a low season for the shoemaking industry, but there has been uncertainty, as you talked about, the pandemic, war, and also inflation. And recently, the transportation prices have gone down a little bit, but cost continues to be high. And there are some long-term factors that we need to consider. For example, ESG and emission reduction. ESG represents high cost and expenditure. ESG has replaced EPS. A lot of people now want to look at ESG rather than EPS. TaipeiPLAS this time can take place largely. Well, it's a very important ESG and green and circular economy is a very important element to be introduced in TaipeiPLAS this time. Can you talk about that? Well, yes. The moderator just said that net zero emission and going green. This is something that is very important, that is dear to the plastic and rubber industry, because it's like the entire world is targeting the plastic and rubber industry. So what do we do? Well, we need to face that challenge directly. We are not worried because, as we just talked about, as Mr. Wei just talked about, Taiwan is highly resilient. In Tainan, in Hsinchu, in southern Taiwan, central Taiwan, in Taichung, we have industry clusters of plastic and rubber machinery. We have strong clusters, and they are widely known worldwide. The design of the exhibition, the trade show this time, values, well, in the design of the exhibition this time, we cooperate with the Plastic Industry Development Center to have a dedicated zone. The moderator mentioned EPS versus ESG. ESG is more important. What is that? Well, you have to do good things. You have to contribute to the society. So, as I said, this time we collaborate with the Plastics Industry Development Center for some displays during TaipeiPLAS. For example, new generation plastic materials. How do we do recycling? And the materials can be recycled. On the other hand, smart manufacturing is also important this time. Many speakers talked about this a while ago, how we can achieve visualization and how we can better use data. And also sustainability and circular economy are also important. It's a closed loop from cradle to cradle rather than from cradle to grave. So in the trade show, we actually will organize a sustainability forum where we invite international speakers to share new technologies and developments. Just a while ago, I participated in another large gathering of another association where the moderator mentioned that there are challenges, but don't forget that there are also great opportunities despite the challenges. Well, I just came from the Lighting Association. Last year, there was a forum which talked about the global scale of the industry as $3.38 billion dollars. And this year, the scale has amounted to 64 billion. So it has grown 1.6 times. So there are many opportunities in this trend of going green and sustainability. So the same applies to the plastic and rubber machinery industry. As we said, Taiwan is highly resilient. We have a lot of foreign friends online. Taiwan only has 23 million people, and which ranks 54. And Taiwan is very small. It ranks 138th. But our GDP ranks 21 worldwide, and our trade ranks 16 worldwide. So this represents Taiwan's resilience. We have industrial resilience, and we also have marketing resilience. So I'd like to take this opportunity to tell all the viewers online, TaipeiPLAS is waiting for you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wang. We talked about ESG. It has to do a lot of different issues like geopolitical risks and also the gap between the rich and the poor. But if we can do ESG well, if there can be sustainability concepts in a company, some risk can thus be reduced, and there can be opportunities, business opportunities to see. So I want to ask you, Mr. Wei, you mentioned that some advanced plastic and rubber materials continue to advance. There are 5 different aspects: GRASS, green, recycle, advanced, and also sustainability and smart design. So the concept of grass, how do you think it can help us achieve new business opportunities? Well, thank you for the question. Taiwan's resilience is that faced with market challenges, we can develop our own technologies. Let me give you an example from our company. From a company. Well, Mr. Wang just said that we use plastic to replace steel or to replace wood, because forests are very important resources in the world. So we can use plastic to replace wood. Some people may wrongly believe that plastic is highly polluting as an industry, but it's completely not the case. Plastic is actually a low polluting and recyclable industry. Let me give you some examples from our company. Let me take down my mask in order to have good voice projection. So in the past, it took 30 plus processes of manufacturing for a plastic bucket, for a steel bucket. But if we use plastic, the processes can be largely reduced. Therefore, we nowadays use much more plastic to produce such buckets. And we can achieve even zero process. So from materials all the way to your warehouse, through automated transportation, it takes only 40 seconds. And within 40 seconds, a plastic bucket can be made. So it's as strong, and the price is highly competitive without any need of manpower operation. So it takes our wisdom to replace old materials. And what's more important and worth developing is that in the past, plastic buckets only had one layer, but nowadays they have 3 layers. There, you can see the blue color. In the past, there was only one layer, so it took a lot of coloring. In the past, and in the middle, there is recycled material hidden in the middle layer, and the new, very thin layer of new material is inside because it has to be get in touch with a lot of different things.
So after replacing a steel bucket with a plastic bucket, we advance it, upgrade it to 3 layers. So a steel bucket would cost $1,000 in terms of cost, but a plastic bucket is less than $500 NT dollars. And I have to reiterate, everything's automated, everything's smart. So this is the resilience of our industry. The plastics industry, the plastic machinery industry, we see still a lot of headroom for growth, especially in this era of ESG. Just like our previous speaker said, it's our opportunity, not an obstacle. So we have faith in the technology, in the resilience of Taiwan. With our existing fundamentals, with our existing technologies, we can definitely grow even more. And I would like to report to you that in terms of purchasing orders for our company, we are getting so many orders that we can't even handle them. So the US market is growing by 200% for us because we are able to customize, we're high tech, we have carbon reduction, and we are automated. So don't be afraid of these challenges. We have to just pick ourselves up by the bootstraps. We have to innovate, and we have to maintain our cutting edge. And I'm sure that if you have the will, there is a way. Thank you, Mr. Wei. Yes, if there is a will, there is a way. Don't be afraid of the challenges. And when we talk about energy, you can reuse the energy. It's green energy. Plastic, you can recycle them as well. So plastic can be counted as a green material. And next, we know that the FCS group is also investing a lot into the circular economy. And you also have a slogan called Shaping a Better World. So when it comes to smart technology and green technology, can you share with us some of the applications that you have? Yes, thank you. So shaping a better world, we want to build a better future. That is an idea that I introduced when I took over as the CEO. So yes, in the plastic industry, we have a lot of misconceptions, a lot of myths. So I was thinking, maybe it's because we didn't do a better job in recycling. So in our company, we develop a lot of recycling technologies. So for this year's exhibition, I'm also working with a company that makes recycling machines. We are going to demonstrate how we can recycle the reworks back into the production process. So it's very speedy and it's very consistent. And also, when we talk about these plastic pallets, you use them to replace the wood pallets. So we have the equipment for that. And we also produce a lot of, or we set up some pilot plants, pilot factories, so that our customers can see these pilots, see these demonstrations. And also in terms of carbon or energy reduction, I have a number to share with you. We talk about green energy, right? So in our company in Tainan, we actually have solar panels. And the solar panels can generate enough electricity for about 95% of our machines' consumption. So we are almost at 100%. So we are setting an example on our own. We want to lead by example, and we want to really showcase how much we can do in terms of green energy and recycle material. And also, I would also like to share with you a new technology in shoemaking industry. So traditionally, shoemaking industry, when they are making these foams, they need to use chemicals. But now we're using physical foaming. So at the exhibition, we will also showcase how we can use physical properties to do foaming. So there will be no carbon emission, there will be no fumes, no toxic fumes. So we are going to share those. Yes, thank you, Mr. Wang, for such a great answer. So when we talk about ESG, IoT, Industry 4.0, we also have to ask Mr. Huang from Victor Taichung. We know that your new plant is a green building itself. So from your perspective, what other challenges or opportunities do you see, or what other keys do you see in this smart upgrade and green transition? And also, what are you going to showcase at TaipeiPLAS this year? So just like the moderator said, 3 years ago, we invested 3.5 billion NT dollars in this smart plant, this green building. So we are one of the very few factories in Taiwan to have this green building certification. So we also fully utilize solar energy. And about 5 or 6 years ago, we also utilized solar panels in some of our existing plants. So every year, they can produce enough energy to offset. I think the energy that they save can offset enough carbon that is absorbed by 100 Danforth parks. So we believe that in this industry, we can all work together to make more smart factories, to make more green buildings, and we can use action to show our resolve. And we are also introducing the idea of ISO 5201 into our plants. And we want to really lead this trend. And also, in terms of the exhibition this year, we are going to showcase a lot of all-electric machines. All of our machines are all electric, and they are more energy efficient, carbon reduction. And in terms of recycling plastic materials, actually, over 10 years ago, we invested in a company called Sangwen. And they work in the recycling of plastic bottles. So now, about 30% of all plastic bottles in Taiwan are being recycled by this company that we invested in. And it is also certified by the EPA. So after the bottles are recycled, they are turned back into raw materials so that we can use these raw materials in our production again. So this is something that we started working on over a decade ago. So when we talk about ESG, when we talk about being green, when we talk about sustainability, this is something that we have to continue to work on. And we as major players in the industry, we have to be the leaders. We have to be the pioneers. We have to lead by example so that Taiwan overall, our industry overall, can move towards a more environmental future. Thank you, Mr. Huang. So the same question I would also like to extend to Mr. Zhang from Chuanqi Machines. So we know that when we talk about carbon reduction, energy reduction, Chuanqi is also coming up with new production processes and new machines. And you have a lot of key deployments. And at this year's ShoeTech Taipei, can you share with us what bright spots you are going to present? Thank you, Mr. Moderator. So shoemaking process, in this production process, the materials application are very wide. and also it's a very labor-intensive industry. So with the help of these shoemaking machinery, we can optimize certain processes, and we can also combine MRP and ERP in these processes so that information can be passed on more rapidly. And shoemaking, when you talk about the materials, yes, there are a lot of applications. So in these applications, how can we use big data to integrate that and form a database so that when you are making different things or making things differently, we can use these shoemaking machines to recognize or identify the application of these materials. And how can we make it so that the industry is less labor intensive? We do not need as much labor, or they do not have to exert as much effort. So if you look at some large brands like Nike, Adidas, these global brands, they are also making these demands for their OEMs. So when we are making these shoes, we need to be able to save labor cost. We need to be able to save carbon emission. So now for every pair of shoes that we manufacture, we have to calculate how much we can save in terms of carbon emission. So in the future market, if you look at Europe or other countries that pay attention to environmental protection and carbon emission, this is going to be a future trend. So shoemaking machinery is going to play a very important part in the entire process. And in this process, yes, we have to calculate our carbon emission and so on. So in terms of smart manufacturing in the shoemaking industry, I think, or in the shoemaking machinery industry, yes, what we can do is help these manufacturers save labor costs, save carbon emissions, save energy, so that we can meet the needs of our customers. Yes, thank you to all our distinguished guests for such great sharing. So yes, we may see some ups and downs in the next 2 quarters. However, because we believe that our industry is very resilient and we are upgrading, we can continue to get more purchasing orders. 2 quarters, that's only 6 months, right? So let's ride out the wave and we will embrace a brighter future. Next, we are going to have Q&A. So we will allow our friends of the media to ask questions, whether you're here or online. So first, let's open up the floor for the media representatives here. So I would like to ask Mr. Wang. We are seeing a revival of economic activities in Taiwan. So I would like to ask TAITRA, until the end of the year, what other events do you have planned? So Mr. Wei said that he has too many purchasing orders for him to handle. I wanted to punch him. He's bragging. Maybe you should share, right? If it's too much for you to handle. Okay, all jokes aside, I think the most important thing is that in addition to what they already shared in terms of the technology, the supply chain, and so on, there's another key. That is, they have a marketing resilience as well. So, like he alluded to, he exports to over 150 countries around the world. So, when market A has some situations, it's okay. You're not putting all your eggs in one basket, right? So you still have 149 other markets to export to. And also, if you look at his customers, the customers are not concentrated either, right? He has over hundreds or even thousands of customers. So again, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And also, he's always innovating, always doing R&D. So the application of these machinery, the application in the industries, just like Mr. Wang said, we have all these new fields, these new rooms. So I know you're asking me about the events, so it sounds like I'm not answering your question, but it's definitely related. It's definitely relevant because we are now going to also focus on the resilience of our marketing. So in September, we also have a lot of plans with the Bureau of Foreign Trade. We also have some exhibitions targeted towards Southeast Asia. And in the next few days, we'll also have some conventions that going to invite over 200 buyers from around the world. And in October, our glorious October, we will also have Energy Week. We'll have electronics exhibition, and we will also have an image exhibition in the United States. And in November, we will focus on resilience. So we will talk about or we'll have an event for our resilient supply chain. So we will have over 100 events in the second half of the year or the remainder of the year. So we really invite all of you to participate. Thank you.
谢谢秘书。
Thank you for that answer. And any other questions from our friends from the media on site? I want to ask Mr. Zhang, Vice Chairman Zhang, you mentioned that there are more and more exports of shoemaking machinery. So I want to ask you about such demand. Which are the markets that have higher demand for that? Thank you for the question. When it comes to such markets, what we are seeing now is big brands, and they are more willing to invest in shoemaking technologies. In Taiwan, for example, Baocheng, Fengtai, and Yuqi, and these shoemaking companies, when it comes to automation and when it comes to making shoemaking faster and more material efficient, and also when it comes to their MRP management and shoe parts and components, these companies are more willing to invest. And we know that in some Nike's product launches, a lot of automation has been first invested and researched by Taiwanese companies with Taiwanese machinery companies. For example, the products that they launched in the United States really valued Taiwanese technologies a lot. We know that the shoemaking industry is a manpower, labor-intensive industry, so it continues to shift to relatively less developed countries. But this will not be a major trend in the future. We believe that in the United States, for example, previously they thought about making chips in the US, and the same logic applies to the shoemaking industry as well. In the US and in Europe, there can be a small factory that can satisfy the local market rapidly. So in this case, there can be more simpler shoe models with smart manufacturing and smart processes. So locally, we will be able to people will be able to provide such shoe making and shoe sales. This will be the future trend. But currently, shoe making is concentrated in Southeast Asia in terms of establishing production lines. I think this will continue to be the trend only within 5 years. But in 5 years' time, beyond 5 years, as I said, shoemaking will also have smaller factories in developed countries. So against this backdrop, I think this is a great opportunity for Taiwanese companies, Taiwanese shoemaking machinery companies, because Taiwan is the kingdom of machinery, and we know that there are different types of machinery, and the Taiwanese government and the association have really highlighted the exchanges about smart manufacturing and some other important technologies. As I talked about, the shoemaking industry is relatively conventional, but Taiwan has very great, for example, plastic and rubber machinery and wood machinery company, and also automation machinery industry in Taiwan is also important worldwide. So the government and relevant associations have really helped with exchanges and integration. For example, smart manufacturing has been promoted for a while already. In the future, the shoemaking machinery industry's development will continue to unleash new opportunities. It will no longer be a labor-intensive industry. Machinery will be able to help reduce manpower and become more material efficient in order to satisfy different needs. Thank you, Mr. Chang. We know that ultra boost and many advanced technologies actually come from Taiwan's R&D capabilities. I have a question from a Polish media outlet. The question is Taiwan's plastics industry suffering from a shortage of manufacturing components? So this is from Radakcha Mechanic on this media outlet. So I'd like to ask Mr. Wei, so is there such a shortage and what do you think about it? Well, as I said, after decades of development, in Taiwan we have established horizontal and vertical supply chains. So during this impact, actually we have suffered from relatively less impact. There are only two aspects where the impact is higher, controllers and precision motors. And this impact comes from Europe mainly. And in terms of parts and components, there is no impact at all. So I've been reminding the government and also Delta. I have encouraged them to continue to make an effort to fulfill these two gaps. And in that case, we will be free from impact. Okay, so thank you for the answer. And we have another question from Algeria. The question is, I'm interested about your investment in Algeria and Africa. So this question is from Africa. So I'd like to ask Mr. Huang, Chairman Huang from Victor Taizhou Machinery Works, because you are one of the few companies to have offices in Africa. So what do you think about this question? Well, I think more than 30 years ago, we established a branch in Johannesburg in South Africa, and we witnessed the political changes in South Africa, the end of apartheid. So over the past 30 years or so, we sold machine tools and also injection machinery. And a few years ago, due to the political turmoil in South Africa, the performance went down. For a while, the local currency depreciated significantly. Recently, the situation has been improving in South Africa. So based on South Africa, we continue to expand to other African countries. So far, we haven't thought about investing in Algeria yet, but in recent years, we have been facing fierce competition from mainland China because they have really invested a lot in Africa. and the Taiwan dollar was very strong a few years ago. Now it's getting less stronger. So maybe when the Taiwanese dollar returns to 31 to 1 against the US dollar, maybe the competitiveness will return. Basically, we are facing fierce competition from mainland China there. Thank you for the answer, and thank you once again for your insights today. And in the interest of time, we'd like to conclude the event for today. So please stand up once again to wave to the cameras. We have viewers from around the world online. Please say goodbye to our friends online. So between September 27 to October 1, there will be the show trades that we have talked about today. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Plastics are almost everywhere around you. As society evolves, so must the materials we use. While enhancing your life and happiness, the essentials in life, the circle of life, they have been reborn. Smarter, more adaptable, plastics manufacture is now at the heart of the circular economy. Sustainability drives us forward. Taiwan Plastics Manufacture. We innovate. We recreate. For you, every day, and for the environment. TaipeiPLAS, shaping new plastability.